You guys see that? You see that, right? You see that? 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 All right, time for the murder. Roll me in.
Today is a day for truth. The world needs to know what happened and to know what he stands for. That kind of power is very dangerous. Let the record show that this committee holds him responsible.
Yes, it's that time again. My name is Dorian Chadwick. Yeah, I'm donning the Batman shirt today. You see that? They know what time it is. Superman vs. Batman movie review. The story takes place a year and a half after the events of Man of Steel, where Superman sort of destroyed Metropolis and killed General Zod. Now, he has a mixed reaction amongst the nation. A lot of folks think he's a hero, that he's a god of some sort, and some think that he's a terror that needs to be held accountable for his actions, especially after an even bigger incident that happened in Africa. I don't remember what country it was, but apparently it's believed that Superman killed those guys, killed a couple of soldiers in Africa. As it is believed. Batman thinks of Superman as a threat. Sure, he's a hero now, but what can he be later? Of course, this is Batman we're talking about. Here being played by Ben Affleck. And to make things even worse for Superman, Lex Luthor, or Alexander Luthor, technically not Lex Luthor, but you know, played here by Jesse Eisenberg, happens to find a substance that could make or break Superman, or could possibly kill him. Yeah, it's not looking too good for Supes here. So Superman, played here by Henry Cavill, must prove that he is not the threat that they all think he is. And hopefully maybe stop Luthor at whatever plan he's cooking up. See, that's the plot. Very simple plot. Is actually intriguing to see this. You want to see two, actually a little more of three sides of a different, not even coin, of dice. You see one side is Superman's like, look man, I'm just trying to do good. You got one side here, it's like, yeah, you're trying to do good now, but what's going to happen later? And you have another guy that said, like, no, you are a complete threat, and be honest, you need to be gone. So it would be nice to see this economy gets three different ideals on a person, or just three different ideals point blank period. And to some extent, it kind of does that. Zack Snyder is mostly known for his directorial achievements, more visually anyway. We talk about Watchmen, 300, and that's really all I can think of right now. He's not really much of the greatest script writer. However, since he's not the main one writing this script, I think he's a co-writer on this one. It's being handled by somebody else, and they do a somewhat good job in trying to juggle all three of these ideals. And thankfully, this also plays to Snyder's strengths as well. Very visual director with some nice framing on certain shots. Definitely has some, not really motifs, but some visual symbols up there that just helps out with the mood of this film. But it kind of backfires in a way. The execution or the argument of all these ideals aren't fleshed out really, because they don't really surface. They hit the surface of all these things. They never delve deep into what any of these really means. So this movie deals a lot on the surface level, the visual level, partially on the visual, because he's not doing everything he could or would have done. One of the other interesting things about this is that he's also not known for being very good with his actors, but here, most of the actors on this film they feel genuine. Like when they talk to each other, it feels genuine. Ben Affleck especially, everyone was worried about his Bruce Wayne. You know, we've all made the bad actor Ben Affleck jokes. He's not that good of an actor, but whatever he's doing, he needs to keep doing it, because he plays a very good and convincing Bruce Wayne, and he does a pretty good job as Batman. He's believable as Batman, and he's incredibly believable as Bruce Wayne. I mean, he just blew me out the water. And when he's interacting with some of the other people like Diane Prince, as you know, is Wonder Woman, or when you have Lois Lane, played here by Amy Adams, talking with Perry, who's being played by Lawrence Fishburne here. When you see some of those characters interact, it's very genuine. It feels real. Like, no, these is real people. However, the two biggest actors that make this thing fall, or part of the reason why this film falls apart, is Jesse Eisenberg and Henry Cavill. Boy, Jesse Eisenberg is a good actor, no doubt. And then it's very hard to determine whose fault it was for him to play this Luthor like the Joker. And you will hear that comparison a lot. Some may argue that it's him playing the older and not the older as in age, but older as in older comics version of Lex Luthor versus playing the more calculative one that we all know and love. However, this just seems Joker-like or Riddler-like. It would have made more sense if he was playing a different villain entirely instead of playing as holding on to Luthor's name. He feels very cartoonish. He doesn't feel threatening. Then very few times where he feels threatening. There are some times where he does, but a lot of times he just comes off cartoonish, and that diminishes whatever they were trying to build him up towards. Now Henry Cavill, on the other hand, we tried to give him a shot. We always like, Man of Steel's not very good, so you can't really judge him based on that one film. And you're right, he has to grow into the character, become more Superman-like as the films go along. But here, he is dead weight. Never thought I'd say this, but Channing Tatum. I got that name right. I'm sorry. You are no longer the worst male actor in Hollywood. And the difference is that Channing got better. Maybe this will have to call for Henry to get better as well, but at the moment right now it's not looking good for him. I mean, he plays it like a bland bored. If you hated Superman before and you saw Henry Cavill's performance in this film, you'd be like, see, that's why I hate him. He's so boring and da 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 da. And he can't, even working it's good graces, even having Amy Adams or Ben Affleck to kind of bounce off, it doesn't work. He's not doing it. It's just bland. I don't know if he's scared to put any emotion into it. I don't know if it's maybe the direction, the writing, because the same could be said for Lex. Maybe it wasn't Jesse or Henry's performance themselves that messed up these characters. Maybe it was the directing or the script writer or whoever. Both of those characters were played poorly, especially Superman. You have to really get people to empathize with Superman, you gotta give him a personality, and which he does in the right hands. But here he doesn't, and it just makes it really hard to root for this guy when he's like just a board, just a wall. This is Henry Cavill the whole time. And I know what you're gonna say. No, Dorian, he emotes some emotion. He gets angry. He gets rage. And yet here I was not convinced of his rage. It's like when Keanu Reeves get angry. I'm not convinced you're angry. I'm not convinced you're angry. I'm not convinced you're mad. You're really freaking mad. He scowls his face, does a little something with his voice, and it's like, oh, he's mad. Is he? Is he really mad? Because I'm not convinced, nor am I scared. See, when Superman gets mad, you should be scared. Very scared. And all this, and none of it helps that this movie is edited weirdly. More weirdly edited than this video. Yes, I know. Shocking. Very, very shocking. Yes, I know. But it's true. None of the scenes end with it leading into the next scene. It ends, let's say we have a scene with Bruce Wayne. It ends and it goes to, say, Superman that has nothing to do with what Batman just did. Like, at all. And then that Superman scene will end and cut to a scene with Lex that has nothing to do with either one of those guys. At all. The editing is just weird. None of the scenes follow naturally into one another. It seems like they just kind of put scenes together that sort of makes some sense, and you'd have to piece them all on your own and by yourself, and that could sort of make this film hard to follow until you get to the end. Well, hold on, man. How about that fight scene? You right. I enjoyed that fight scene. And that's actually one of the other good things about the film is that whoever wrote the characters as they would actually do it. Like, I don't feel any of the characters were really out of their character. I don't feel that they made Batman do something that Batman would do, or Superman makes something Superman would do. And when the fight is happening, it's like, yeah, that seems like an actual Superman-Batman fight. That seems like something that those two characters would do if they were fighting. It feels natural. It's actually very entertaining to see those two go at it. So yeah, a lot of these action scenes are actually really well. This is another one of Snyder's strengths, making really good and beautiful action scenes. And when you get down to the last 30, 40 minutes of this film, that's nothing what it is. And it's exciting. Like, if you ignore the other 2 hours and maybe some of the other crap is going on, the last 30, 40 minutes is what you wanted to see. But I do have one preference about that final fight. It does seem a little over, I don't know, I would say over the top, but it seems very fake. What I mean to say is that there are a lot of effects in that final fight with Doomsday. The first is that Doomsday looks nothing like Doomsday. He looks like an extra off Lord of the Rings. I know that sounds like a repeat of something that some other folks have said, but it's true because it does. You literally could take Doomsday out and put him in the Lord of the Rings film and not tell the difference. That's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Secondly, the effects, when I mean over the top, I mean they're all over the place as far as the effects is concerned. You have all these energy blasts, you have all these colors and other things happening that it gets really hard to focus and really focus down into this fight. Now, once again, thanks to Zack Snyder's framing and whoever worked on the cinematography of this film, that you are able to tell something of what's going on and who's doing what and how they're fighting and everything else, which is good. Like I said, this will make 10-year-old in you happy, but it feels as though that it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like there's a consequence to this fight. Now, this could be because of what all transpired in the other 2 hours of the film, that when you get to this, you're just kind of like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And by the time you get here, you're just like, man, I'm just tired. Let's just go. Let's just get going. Come on. Yeah. I see Wonder Woman. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's keep on. Come on, let's go. Let's go, please. Look, I don't hate the film. It's a flawed film. An incredibly flawed film. And I don't care how many comics you pulled from and how many comics you added to make this film. They don't even add together and they don't work. It doesn't matter how many references to a comic you pull. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And this film shows that. While it is visually interesting, and yet I was pulled in the first 30, 40 minutes of this film and the last 30 minutes of this film. That middle part, it's just feels like random cuts and edits, sloppily edited film. And I wish I could go into more detail about certain scenes, but that's more for a spoiler or debate video rather than a review. So just know there is some enjoyment in this film, but it's kind of a mess on the writing side. Having Jesse Eisenberg act the way as Luthor as he did not help matters in any way. He doesn't feel fleshed out. He doesn't feel like a real human character. The same goes with Henry Cavill's Superman. He just feels like he's just there. He is a blank stay for the majority of the time. Ben Affleck, Amy Adams, and all the other actors that aren't Eisenberg or Cavill are the saving grace of this film. They keep this film from being complete crap and a complete another mess, complete crap and boring. So my final review, I give Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice 5.5 out of 10. Like I said, there's part of me enjoy this. Look, I got this freaking Batman shirt on. For goodness sake, I like these heroes. I like these guys. I grew up on these guys. But I can't denounce the faults in this film. There are many. Maybe I'll put another video up, either explaining. Maybe I'll have someone else here, that the person that was supposed to be here, she's going to be right here with me on the next video, and we can do that. Because I do want to get down and talk about some of these scenes in this film that either should have been put on the post credits or put at the end or just taken out point blank period. Sad day. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you disagree with me, please put in the comments below. Let's start talking. Let's start debating this. You know, let's keep this conversation going. Or or maybe you would have done something different than this movie would have done, still put that in the comments below. It's always fun to talk about it. And if you like what you see, please rate and subscribe to the channel. As always, I'm Dorian Chadwick, and I will see you guys later.